What's up, guys? Before we jump into it, just want to let you know that there's a flash 30% off discount with code ESPRESSO over at gfuel.com. With new releases like Sour Faceberry and cans like Sour Blue Chug Rug out, if you're interested, now's as good a time as any to check them out. Links in the description below, but anyways, let's get back to the content at hand. Well, talk about a welcome surprise. By all indications, it seemed like we'd be seeing a sort of update from Modern Warfare in that mid-season update. Not this upcoming week, but the week after. By all accounts, that's the actual midpoint of the season. But alas, today we found out that's actually not the case. Later tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, at 2 a.m. Eastern, and I believe that's 6 a.m. BST, we're actually going to be seeing that mid-season update go live. So get your consoles, download speeds, and anything else at the ready, whatever you need if you're going to be pulling an all-night gaming session. But today we're going to be taking a little preview at what's to come, followed later tonight into the morning, of course, with a full breakdown of everything that changed with that mid-season update. But until then, let's take a look at what we've got. As always, do be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. And also, if you're new to the channel, perhaps a part of that nearly 72% of viewers who are not subscribed, make sure the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things on a daily basis, Modern Warfare and Warzone. But anyways, let's jump into it. Firstly, yes, it will be a full-blown title update. So unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit of time pending your own personal download speeds. As with Season 4's launch, though, we're going to see this be a relatively larger update on the front-facing number, but when all is said and done, it will only leave a minimal digital footprint in the overall game size. This is due in part to the new approach to optimization, so you're going to be downloading a lot of assets, but a lot of them are actually downloading in order to overwrite existing assets with more optimized ones. So for premium users, the size will range between 22 to 36 gigabytes, and console users will have to download an additional 3.5 gigabyte patch after that main download, and free-to-play users will have to download their update of around 22 to 30 gigabytes depending on the platform. But again, just to reiterate, you won't see that full number add on to the current total space that Modern Warfare requires. But perhaps boring tech specs out of the way, let's talk about some of the content that's going to be coming. The big touted stuff for this Season 4 Reloaded update includes a new weapon, a new map, a new operator, new modes, and more. So the new weapon is that of the Rytec AMR, a 50 caliber sniper rifle that will be available in the game via in-game challenges, and as well mentioned to be in the shop if you're not interested in grinding out the challenges. Though a fair warning, if you do just go and purchase the weapon, you can rank it up, sure, like normal, but you won't be able to access the gunsmith until you actually unlock that base weapon. So kind of hit or miss if you can deal with the attachments and that's your like ideal build for the weapon. That's totally fine if you want to just jump right to buying it, but otherwise you won't really get all that much out of the experience. But this weapon looks to be the spiritual Barrett 50 cal from previous games, and if it's anything as beefy and powerful as the others in the COD franchise, man, I'm ready to pick this one up as a new primary sniper, and I couldn't be more excited. But as for the new map, Cheshire Park is a 6v6 map that we've seen a few screenshots of in the marketing for Season 4, though really not all that much. It's kind of all the same courtyard, but seems to be that center courtyard with a statue in the middle and where everything all comes together. But also on the townhomes on the side, there's more than likely some area of play in there, and it looks like, at least from just the overall screenshots, that it's going to be a CQB map along with it. So I'm assuming that it will be like that, to which as a 6v6 map is pretty good. I'm sure that's what a lot of people are excited for collectively. More maps like Shipment, like a shoot house, depending on who you ask, a Rust, Scrapyard, Hackney style, where it's kind of just right. It's not too big, not too small. The Goldilocks of maps. But anyways, that's coming tonight. As for the new operator, Rose will be available as well within Modern Warfare at this update, and she'll be available in the shop, though not specified for any price point. I'd imagine 2,400 COD points, and hopefully this also gives new missions. I really like what they did with Gaz, where you can actually get more than just that bundle outfit for the operator initially with Gaz's introduction. That's a nice thing that I hope goes forward with all the other operators introduced in the future, but that's something that may be coming along with that as well. But Rose will be introduced, and that will round out the operators that we at least know of within Season 4. Maybe they add one more in towards the latter end of the season because, like we talked about, this came a little bit earlier than we were maybe used to, and there's going to be a lot of time of maybe dead space in the weeks to come, but for the time being, we're getting that third and final promoted operator for Season 4. As for some of the modes, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's start on the Warzone side of things here for this, because that's one that I'm actually really interested to see how this plays out. The marketed stuff here come down to Juggernaut Royale and also 200-player Warzone. With this, we're going to see that it's a limited time mode for this one in particular. It doesn't seem like it's just increasing the total number of player counts across the board between solos, duos, trios, and quads. It looks like this is going to be just that of a quads LTM update, but you'll have 200 players instead of the normal 152 based off of however many squads there are in the game. So that offers up to 49 other quad teams that you can be battling it out with. But I'm really interested to see how, one, this plays out in terms terms of some new high kill records that may come out of it. 2, if the servers can handle this, because I feel like some games are definitely way laggier than others. So with adding another 50 connections in on that they have to connect to, that'll be interesting overall. But I'm just curious to see how this plays, and if it will be something that, if it's enjoyed, if it could be something that is a stable increase to all of the modes. That'd be interesting for sure. As for Juggernaut Royale, this was something that we saw at the very beginning of the season and was also data mined quite a while ago, in which now this, of course, offers up the Juggernaut suit. And apparently, according to data mines, there's going to be 3 of these available at a time. Once you kill the Juggernaut, that is something that, of course, that team is wiped then, but also the Juggernaut suit will come back in and spawn in a little bit of time after that. So there's a slight cooldown to it, but it'll be Battle Royale with just some Juggernaut suits. So I'm really interested to see how this one plays out. Right now, I might stick away from this one. I don't really care too much for Juggernauts overall, and to have that into a Warzone Battle Royale, I'm not entirely sure if that's my cup of tea. But anyways, you'll be able to jump in, play around with the minigun and the Juggernaut suit if you can find and capture it, but that'll be there. Now, while we're on the topic of Warzone, there actually is 2 new additional things previewed as well, that being the spotter scope and a new contract called the supply run contract. The contract is seemingly straightforward compared to others, in which when you activate it, you have a designated amount of time to end up making it to a specified buy station, to which if you get there in time, you can get a discount on some buy station purchases. So a cool little sort of fire sale, but controllable fire sale if you activate this, but that'll be added in. And the spotter scope is something that is a high-powered scope, but without that sniper glint that you'd have with an actual sniper rifle. It's reusable and allows you to scan the environment around you to mark enemies without being detected, which is pretty cool, but it also is something that this doesn't give onto it. But the spotter scope is actually needed for a part of the Easter egg if all the data mine files are still the same, and if it still follows the same strings of code that were pulled out of the game files a little bit ago. So this will have a little bit more importance that we'll probably discover here in the next 48 hours or so, but keep an eye on that one for sure. As for traditional MP, we got some information on a new multiplayer mode, or returning multiplayer mode, because for those that may recognize it, almost a decade ago, we're seeing the reintroduction of Team Defender, in which, similar to Capture the Flag, teams will battle it out for flags, but there's actually only one. So instead of both teams defending their respective flags, there's only one flag for a squad member to capture and hold on to. A squad will earn points for every second that one of their members holds that flag, which means defending the carrier is going to be something you need to do. So kind of like a protect the VIP kind of mode if you're new to this whole idea. Attackers also end up gaining points for downing the carrier, so that's something that will then lead to a nice little tug of war match as the match progresses, but that's going to be added in as of the update as well. So I'm excited for that one for sure. That's a nice little fun twist in a game mode that was a blast in the past. As for other big stuff here, it was confirmed also that, of course, that weapon rebalancing is going to be coming as of this update as well. So say goodbye to hopefully that Growl meta. Hopefully we can see something else emerge, and something that adds a little more variance to Modern Warfare and Warzone in particular. Outside of that, on this little roadmap for the Season 4 Reloaded update, we also see that there will be a triple feed XP, new gunfight tournament rewards coming, whether or not that's at launch or maybe this weekend for the Friday update. We'll have to wait and see. We'll end up seeing new gulag weapons are going to be introduced within Warzone as well, which I'm excited to see. I kind of hope they go back to just straight up pistols or removing equipment out of that as well. I think that whenever you introduce those weapons like ARs and SMGs, it kind of promotes a little bit more of camping in those gulag gunfights. So that's something that hopefully is rolled back, at least in my opinion. And that's the content that's confirmed here for this update, but there's also a lot of speculation as to what may also become of this. Firstly, like we talked about before, I kind of hope that we see something here with the Easter egg progression, and that actually might be the case, because if you look at the one image that's detailed within the blog post, you can see there's stadium in the background, but it's not the stadium that we know of. There's an opened area of glass, which if you look through that, it almost looks like the roof of stadium is off and you can see through up into that ceiling. And also, there looks to be some sort of pulley system off on that left side of stadium, so perhaps a way to propel yourself up there without having to use a helicopter. So for those players that camp up there, it might not be the safest place anymore. You may have to actually deal with engagements that come to you. So that'll be interesting here with all of that. And of course, to see what comes outside of all of that main mentioned stuff, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, there's going to be secret changes. There's going to be patch notes given later tonight. So there's still a lot more to learn. And with that said, stick it right here on the channel because we'll detail absolutely all of that. But anyways, that is the preview for the Season 4 Reloaded update coming later tonight. And of course, this next week, we're going to have a lot to talk about. So I'm excited for it. Hopefully you are as well. well. But that said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are you looking forward to out of this the most? Anything that you guys are really stoked for? Maybe not so much. Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare and Warzone on a daily basis. If you guys also want to get connected with me outside of YouTube, practice on both Instagram and Twitter. So if you guys want to check those out, links are in the description below. Well, let's send out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.